Hey, friends, welcome back to College Sports Corner with Barry. Hey, we are finally here. We got the first full Saturday of college football. Last week was kind of a little bit of a tease with those, was it 6 or 7 games, but this is full slate now. It all got started actually on Wednesday with a game, but we had some good games last night. We got some good games tonight. We're going to have some good games tomorrow. We'll go over all that. We'll go over news and headlines. Hey, if you like the show, tell your friends, tell your family, and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. All right. All right. So for all you people that love pregame shows, I watch the pregame shows, kind of get you ready. College game day is going to be at the Clemson Georgia game. SEC Nation is going to be at the Alabama Miami game. Big Ten tailgate is going to be at the Indiana Iowa game. Fox Big Noon kickoff is going to be at Penn State and Wisconsin game. And Pac 12 pregame is going to be at the Fresno State and Oregon game. All right, for some news, Big 12 is eyeing 4 teams for expansion: BYU, Cincinnati, Houston, and Central Florida. Whether or not it happens, who knows? We'll see what happens there. All right, here is your bizarre, stupid, dumb story, whatever you want to call it, for today. I mean, it is what it is, but okay, this is just kind of weird. All right, so evidently there's a Pitt alumni, Chris Bickle, who graduated in 1997. I don't know what he does, but he's made a good living for himself because he donated $20 million to the football program. Hey, good for them. Anything they can get, right? Well, now, in honor of this, Pitt has renamed the head coaching position the Chris Bickle 97 head football coach. What the F ever. All right, I mean, if I had the money, I'd pay for a new Pitt Stadium on campus so they can get out of the Steelers Stadium. But hey, it's his money. He can do whatever he wants and whatever. All right, so good luck to Chris Bickle, 97, head football coach Pat Narduzzi this week. Hope y'all win. Playoff expansion talks have kind of stalled. CFP committee members are concerned that the proposed structure isn't the right one for their conferences and teams. Boo! You suck, CFP committee. All right, enough for that. Let's get some games here. It all started this week. Started Wednesday. UAB routed Jacksonville State. I figured that'd be a lot better game than that, but Jacksonville State just didn't have anything for UAB. Last night, the big one, Ohio State and Minnesota. That was a great game for about 3.5 quarters. Gophers played great. The Buckeyes kept shooting themselves in the foot, especially with the big yardage penalties. They had a couple of pass interference penalties. They had a roughing the quarterback penalty, and they just kept shooting themselves in the foot. But Minnesota fell out towards the end of the third quarter. And then their badass running back, what's his name, Ibram, left the game with a lower leg injury. He was having a big game for them last night. And Gophers just couldn't pull it out, but they played great. Good for y'all, Gophers. Y'all have a good-looking football team. Coastal Carolina beat the Citadel. Buffalo killed Wagner 69-7. I'm sorry, Wagner. Poor little guy, Wagner. Ball State beat Western Illinois by 10. Hey, here's some good news for FC School. UC Davis beat Tulsa in Tulsa. Good for them. I guess there are no keg parties in Tulsa after that. No Thursday night parties. Everybody's kind of down and out after that, probably. But hey, who knows? It's college kids. They may have thrown down anyway. App State beat East Carolina. NC State whipped South Florida by 45. Ooh, man. Utah beat Weber State. Tennessee beat Bowling Green in Josh Heupel's debut. Volunteers, the offensive line looked really good. I mean, the quarterback sat there most of the night reading books back there. They got a lot of talent, but they do have some inconsistencies that I saw last night. But hey, a win's a win. Good for Josh Heupel. Good for you, Tennessee fans, starting the year off right. New Mexico beat Houston Baptist by 10. Florida International beat Long Island, which I guess Long Island, maybe they're a new football program. I really haven't heard anything about them until this year. Maybe they've been around a while. I just never heard. But anyway, good for Florida International. Western Kentucky beat UT Martin. And this is pretty cool here. In Gus Malzahn's debut at Central Florida, the guy gets ran out of Auburn, lands at Central Florida. In his first game, he comes down from 21 points down and beats Boise State. Good for you, Gus Malzahn. I always liked Gus. He was pretty. Hey, I wonder if he ate the Waffle House. Do they got Waffle Houses there? Hey, here's another good one for FCS school. Eastern Washington beat UNLV by 2 points. Good for you, Eastern Washington. Arizona State whipped Southern Utah. And Temple and Rutgers was postponed due to the remnants of Hurricane Ida screwing up everything in the Big East. I think they're going to play tomorrow. I'm not sure. I think that's what they heard. And hey, yeah, you people in the Northeast, man, I see what's going on in the news. That freaking Ida just won't leave. So prayers to you guys. Well wishes, man. Y'all are going through a tough time like everybody did down here about a week ago. All right, tonight we got some pretty good games too. We got a good ACC matchup: North Carolina and Vautech, 6 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. It's a good early Coastal matchup. Mac Brown, boy, he just came back to North Carolina. He's slowly building them back up to where he was when he left in the 90s. I think when he left there in the 90s, he had 2 or 3 10, 11 win seasons before he went to Texas. But he's going there. He's doing it step by step. The Tar Heels got a lot of good skilled players. The offensive line is good. And that quarterback, Sam Howell, he's a pretty damn good quarterback. Probably one of the best in the nation. He's back. Vautech, first couple of years Justin Fuente was there, they were really good, but they've kind of fallen off the map here these last few years. I don't know what's going on there. Hokie offensive line is the strength of this team, but their quarterback, they kind of lag in play. So, I don't know. Maybe it'll be a good game, hopefully. Duke at Charlotte, 7 p.m. Eastern, CBS Sports Network. David Cutcliffe has been at Duke for 13 years now. He's had some success. He's won 6 bowl games, but 3 out of the last 5 seasons have been losing seasons. I don't know. I mean, Duke had success back in the early 90s with Steve Spurrier. I think he even may have won the ACC conference. But Duke fans, is Duke like Kansas? Is like most emphasis and time, energy, and all that thrown into the basketball program, and football is just a second afterthought? I mean, if you're a Duke fan and even a Kansas fan, put down in the comments what do you think goes on with that program? Do you think the football program just doesn't get enough resources or whatever it may be? Because it seems like the basketball schools, football is a second, like I said, afterthought. So, hey, give us your opinion in the comments, or if you know what's going on, you're an expert on Duke, let us know, because a lot of us are wondering what goes on there. Old Dominion at Wake Forest, 7 p.m. Eastern on ACC Network. Old Dominion was one of those teams that took a year off last year because of COVID. Let's see how they can come back after not playing for almost a year and a half. Wake Forest comes back with 20 starters, too. They're balanced on both sides of the football. This is interesting to see how deep they go with the wins in the ACC conference this year with 20 starters coming back. St. Francis at Eastern Michigan, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. South Dakota at Kansas, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Remember when we could watch these games for free on ESPN's network before they started making us pay for it? And it even went up $1 this year, too, so watch out. I'm sure about 5 years from now, they'll be wanting us to pay $25 a month to watch games on their app. Hey, here's a good Big Ten game. Michigan State at Northwestern, 9 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Michigan State, they've got some questions at quarterback. Don't know how good he's going to be or anything like that. Spartan defense played slow at times last year from what I'm seeing. And Michigan State lost 20 players to the transfer portal in the offseason. Pat Fitzgerald over there at Northwestern, boy, he's done a pretty damn good job. He been there 15 years, 2 West titles in 3 years. Who would have thought that after that Rose Bowl run that Northwestern had back in the mid-'90s that they would be back to competing for championships and things. One big news out there, Wildcat defensive coordinator, y'all maybe remember this, Mike Harkowitz retired last season. He had been there forever. So they got a new defensive coordinator. How's the defense going to look this year? Plus, Northwestern's offense only brings back 4 starters. So, South Dakota State at Colorado State, 9 p.m. Eastern on FS1. If you don't watch this game, keep an eye on it. South Dakota State went all the way to the FCS championship game last year, barely lost. But they may be another one of those FCS teams that sneak in and be the FBS team this week. It's already happened a couple times. But Colorado State does bring back 21 starters, so it could be a pretty good game. But then again, I thought the Jacksonville State UAB game was going to be good, and look what happened there. Still, keep an eye on it. Northern Colorado at Colorado, 9 p.m. Eastern on the Pac-12 network. Northern Colorado was another team that didn't play last year due to COVID. Colorado brings back 19 starters, so we'll see what happens there. Okay, let's get to tomorrow, the good stuff. Hope you got all your adult beverages or drinks if you don't drink adult beverages, chips and dip, barbecue ready, because we've got some good games tomorrow. Number 2, Oklahoma versus Tulane, noon Eastern on ABC. This game was supposed to be in New Orleans, but due to that damn Hurricane Ida that won't get the hell out of our country, it's been moved back to Norman. I've never heard if that game was going to be played at Tulane Stadium or the Superdome. I was always trying to figure that out, but for some reason I could never find anything. But anyway, it got moved back to Norman, so it is what it is. Good Big Ten matchup at noon Eastern on Fox. Number 19, Penn State, and number 12, Wisconsin. Penn State has won the last 4 against the Badgers and 6 out of the last 7. I really didn't know that, but anyway, hey, that's a good way to start off the Saturday with that game right there. Western Michigan at Michigan, noon, ESPN. Wolverines are 7-0 against Western Michigan all the time, but the Broncos have a good offense and a good quarterback. And as we know, Michigan just hasn't been Michigan lately, so it'd be interesting to see what's going to happen there. Stanford versus Kansas State, noon Eastern on FS1. Well, a few years ago, Stanford and Kansas State were both ranked. David Shaw had Stanford up there playing well. That's back when Bill Snyder was there at Kansas State for his, second, third go-around, I think it was. But now Bill Snyder's gone, and I don't know what's going on at Stanford, but neither one of them are ranked. But hey, they're playing. If you're a fan of them too, or you alumni, there's your game. Fordham at Nebraska, noon Eastern on Big Ten Network. Can Nebraska turn this thing around? Can Scott Frost get people off his back for a week? We'll see. Here's another one to keep an eye on. Fresno State at number 11, Oregon, 2 p.m. Eastern, Pac-12 Network. Look, I know it was UConn last week, but Fresno State just throttled them, and it looked great on both sides of the ball. If they can carry that confidence and momentum into Oregon, I don't know if they'll win, but they could give Oregon a good scare. So that could be a good game. It remains to be seen. Rice at Arkansas, 2 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus for all you old Southwest Conference fans like me. There's a match there that's been revived for at least a day. All right, number 1 Alabama versus 14 Miami, 3:30 Eastern on ABC. There's a lot of people on TV saying Miami's got a chance to win this thing. Who knows? They might, but Alabama's Alabama. Nick Saban is Nick Saban, and I'm not even sure if this could be a close game. A lot of people are saying, "Oh, but it's going to be close." Hey, I don't know. We'll see. Number 17, Indiana at number 18, Iowa, 3:30 Eastern on BTN Network. Another good early season Big Ten matchup. I have quite a few this season. Indiana's done well under Tom Allen. These last few years, he's really brought it on. Remember, 3 or 4 years ago, maybe. I think it was their opening game. They played Ohio State there in Bloomington, and they gave them a damn good game. We'll see what happens. Last year, the Hoosiers' 6 wins were the most in big conference play for them since 1987. And if I remember right, that's when Bobby Knight won the national championship there at Indiana for the last time, wasn't it? 87, I think. This is only the second time both teams have met while they were ranked in the AP Top 25. The last time was 1991, so there's a little bit of trivia there for you. West Virginia at Maryland, 3:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Mountaineers have won 9 of the last meetings with the Terrapins. Louisiana Tech at Mississippi State, 4 p.m. Eastern, ESPNU. Bulldogs versus Bulldogs. Skip Holtz versus Mike Leach. Central Michigan at Missouri, 4 p.m. Eastern on the SEC Network. Northern Iowa at Iowa State, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus. Here's another one you might want to keep your eye on. Number 3 Louisiana Raging Cajuns at number 21 Texas, 4:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Steve Sarkisian makes his debut in Texas. Raging Cajuns are a good team. Over the years, they've surprised some people. And, remember what I always say about the first game. That first game, you always see a lot of mistakes made, a lot of penalties made that you're not going to see very many of the rest of the year. So, hey, if Raging Cajuns can get a few balls to bounce their way, get a few penalties to go their way, you never know. They might leave Austin with a win and shock Texas and the new coach. San Jose State at number 15 USC, 5 p.m. Eastern on the Pac-12 network. This is a good one to keep an eye on. San Jose State is the reigning Mountain West Conference champions. Their quarterback, Nick Starkel, he's a great quarterback. Now, USC is 4-0 all time against San Jose State. But let's face it, this isn't the USC of the Pete Carroll days. I know they've been good, but Clay Helton, he's got a lot of people on his back that want him to win now, or I guess he's on the hot seat. So, hey, if you don't watch this game, just keep checking on your phone on the score just to see what's happening. Akron at Auburn, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Plus. Eastern Illinois at South Carolina, 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Syracuse at Ohio, 7 p.m. Eastern on the CBS Sports Network. Oregon State at Purdue, 7 p.m. Eastern on FS1. Both teams there, Oregon State and Purdue, they really need a good season. They've kind of fallen off the beaten path lately. Hey, here's another old Southwest Conference matchup. Texas Tech at Houston, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Missouri State at Oklahoma State, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. Baylor at Texas State, 7 p.m. Eastern on ESPN+. The I-35 showdown. Boy, look at all these games, ESPN Plus, that you're paying for now that we used to watch for free online years ago, huh? All right, here's another big one. Number 5, Georgia versus number 3, Clemson. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, ABC. Clemson's got the new quarterback, not named Trevor Lawrence. We'll see how he does. But a few months ago, this game looked like a pretty good game. May even favored Georgia. But they've got so many injuries from fall practice. Like I said before, Kirby Smart's working the hell out of those boys. So, but hey, I don't know. This might be one of those games where no Trevor Lawrence, lots of injuries on the Georgia side. You might just want to flip a coin and, hey, yeah, they won. Florida Atlantic and number 13 Florida, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on the SEC Network. Kent State at Texas A&M, 8 p.m. Eastern on the ESPNU. Montana at number 20 Washington, 8 p.m. Eastern on the Pac-12 Network. Here's another big one. Number 16 LSU at UCLA, 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. Questions. Is LSU back? Did they just get the COVID curse like Penn State, Wisconsin, and a lot of others last year? Because let's face it, LSU is pretty damn good every year. Personally, I think it was a fluke. I think they're going to be back to good this year. Don't know if they're going to make a championship run again like they did a couple years ago, but I think they're going to be back to playing the way they usually play. The other side of the ball is UCLA back. Chip Kelly and UCLA just manhandled Hawaii last week. But it was Hawaii. So here's a big question. We'll find out Saturday night. Is UCLA back? Or was it just a bad Hawaii team that a lot of people can do that to? We'll find out. Hey, this is good right here. This is what I love. All you college football freaks like me, here's your late game schedules. You know, you're sitting up there late at night, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, watching TV. I enjoy these late night games, mostly on the West Coast. Nevada, California, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1. BYU at Arizona, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Arizona debuts their new coach. BYU's coming off an 11-1 season. Jed Fish is the new coach there at Arizona, trying to turn things around. New Mexico State at San Diego State, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Utah State at Washington State, 11 p.m. Eastern on Pac-12 Network. Both teams are looking for a good year this year. But, man, look at that, 11 p.m. Eastern. That should get us up into the Wee hours of the morning, huh? At least the last call. All right, Sunday, number 9, Notre Dame at Florida State, 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ABC. Hey, remember that great game in 1993 between Florida State and Notre Dame? Yeah, this ain't it. But still, it's college football on Sunday night. I mean, you can't go wrong there. All right, our last one of the opening weekend, Labor Day, Monday night, Louisville and Ole Miss, 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. Final game of this great first weekend of college football. Louisville was 4-7 last year. Ole Miss was 5-5. And think about Ole Miss, they probably should have won 2, maybe 3 more games than they did last year. I mean, if you remember that Alabama game, they gave Alabama all they could until it's about middle of third quarter, fourth quarter, and they just lost all their gas, and Alabama went ahead and won. But Ole Miss, yeah, they should have won a few more games last year. Lane Kiffin, he's a good coach. I admit, years ago, I wasn't a fan of his when he was at USC and when he came to Tennessee. You know, he talked a lot of smack, but I don't know. He's kind of growing on me. I like he's got great interviews. He's a good coach. So hopefully they'll have a good year this year. They deserve it. Well, that's it. I've wasted enough of your time today. Your boss is probably pissed off at you, yelling at you because you're not doing work, but you're watching YouTube videos. Anyway, we will be back Tuesday. We're going to review this first weekend of college football. We'll do news, headlines. We will preview next Thursday night's games. Anyway, hey, like I said before, if you like it, if you want to put up with it, tell your friends and family. Say, hey, y'all see this freaking idiot on YouTube, man. You got to see this guy. Tell them about it. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss me doing any more stupid stuff because you don't want to miss that, right? Anyway, hey, have a great weekend. Take care. Enjoy the college football. Have fun, and we'll see you back on Tuesday.